Hello, girls, guys, or otherwise. This is Rich, and welcome to another Witchy Wednesday. Um, for some reason, hold on, I think I know what it is. My I am like really bright here, and I think what it is my display. Um, my the thingy, you know the thing with the monitor. Yeah, I think I put the brightness up, and I think that's what's messing with. Why can I not find my brightness settings? Hold on. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and talk while I'm doing this. Welcome to Witchy Wednesday, where apparently we are not editing any of this out, and it's going to be fun. Today, I wanted to talk about uh, cleansing and consecrating your... There we go. It's less glare and everything on me. I wanted to talk about cleansing and consecrating your working tools. Specifically, I want to go through the elements and whatnot. Um, I was going to do two in one shot. This is because we were talking about this on Saturday with our Witchy Book Club series. So I decided, you know what? Let me go ahead and do a small series on cleansing and consecrating. Um, so your witchy tools, your witchy items. So first off, whenever I say cleansing, I'm meaning taking any negative energy out, kind of like wiping the slate clean, because you don't know who's handled this before you. This, as y'all know, is my wand. And if you can hear the scratching, that is little Miss Karen trying to get out, and well, she's just stuck in here for now. Anyway, Jelly's sitting over here on a box because I have been way too busy to even come in here, other than to set up my computer, film a video, maybe play a little bit of Sims, and and then go back out and do work things. So anyway, whenever I'm talking about cleansing, I'm talking about removing the energy, the negative energies out of an item. Whenever we're talking about consecrating, we are basically blessing that item, giving it a job to do, a purpose to do. And I'm going to go ahead and go through some ways. For one, easy way to consecrate or to cleanse and consecrate is through your own hands. Your own energy can cleanse and consecrate this, no problem whatsoever. But if you would like, you can always use other tools. So, and it's kind of odd which came first, the chicken or the egg, on which thing gets consecrated first, and how do you consecrate the first item. That's a good question too. You can do the first item with yourself, your hands, what have you. An easy one to start out with, if you are, and it is probably the only thing I did not grab, is incense. You know what? Y'all know what an incense stick looks like. So you light an incense, wave it through the smoke. Easy way to cleanse an item, and then consecrate it with the purpose. You can use prayers, you can use mantras, you can come up with your own little deal, your own little way of cleansing that or consecrating that item for that specific work. So, if you want to take it through the elements and you're not really worried about the items that you're using to cleanse and consecrate, or the items that you're using to cleanse, being cleansed and consecrated themselves, let's negate the whole chicken or egg thing. First thing I would suggest is get a bell. Now, this is my bell. I love the sounds that it makes. It's actually nice and peaceful. It's probably a little like piercing in the audio, but it is a nice little ringing tone. I did show this little guy, this little dude. I showed this in the last Witchy Wednesday one. So yes, you can get something simple and small. Doesn't have to take up a lot of room. If you're really on a budget, go to the dollar store and you can get those little like they're almost like Christmas bells, the little tiny ones that are all like encased in there. Get those. Easy way to cleanse with sound. The next step is to cleanse with fire. Now, I actually don't have anything that I would necessarily say would be a fire aspect, but depends on what you're using. Some oils, this one specifically is clary sage, some oils have a more fire element to them. Ones such as cinnamon could be used. Be careful with cinnamon getting it on your hands. Some people tend to break out when handling cinnamon. You can dilute it with a carrier oil and go that route if that's what you want to do. You can always get a candle, and I don't have a candle in here, but get a candle and be very careful and just pass it over the flames. Or you can pass the flame over the item. You know, you can just go over the item. You can kind of make a circle. You guys can't, y'all can't see my hands here, but you can go around the item like this. You can go under the item. It's dealer's choice. How it feels right to you is the right way to do it. But you can get a candle. Just be very careful that you don't burn the item itself. Specifically in this case, the wand. Usually they're made out of wood. You know, as y'all know, wood does catch fire. So hopefully you don't have little singe marks. But you know, it tells a story if you do. And I think that's something that we can see beauty in, is the story that is told by the imperfections of our working tools. Specifically not me, but I don't like imperfections on my working tools. However, from years of using my Athame, you can see it a little bit here, years of using my Athame as a method of putting out flames, I do have little singe marks on here. It's gotten mostly clean, and that's fine. My old bell, which is actually, where is it? It's up here, right there. That one I used to use as a candle snuffer, so I wouldn't really recommend it, but you can use it. So yeah, it tells a story. Those little marks on the inside of it from the soot and everything tells a story, and that's just fine. Anyway, for water, I have my little holy water spray bottle here. I think I just got Karen a little. No, I didn't. I didn't get you at all. So anyway, holy water, always a good choice. I have a little what is this? An atomizer on there. And you can pick these up. I do have some of them on my shop, so you can go to the link below to get yours if you don't have one. Mine are I have a couple that are a little pricier, so just FYI on that. They're hand blown glass, stuff like that. Anyway, now earth, easy one for earth, salt. You can take the item and you can just place it in a small tray of salt and just let it sit there and chill out, and it will draw those impurities, those impure energies. It will draw those out. So we now have it cleansed. This thing is just good energy in there. Nobody's bad juju's sitting on it. Okay, so now in order to consecrate it and give it a job, you can just simply say, I give you this job. You have this one job to do, or you have this plethora of jobs to do. Whenever I'm doing workings, this is what you're doing. You can go that route. You can, again, get an anointing oil of some sort. Like I said, I originally used clary sage. I think this is probably still the same bottle that I use. I wonder if it even has any scent left or if it's gone rancid. Nope, still as good as the day I bought it. So you can pick up some clary sage. I love that scent. There's plenty of them out there that have a cleansing property. If you want something a little bit more formal, frankincense oil, it's pretty pricey. However, smells wonderful. You can get like a myrrh essential oil and use that. Again, might be a little on the pricier side, but smells wonderful. And basically, as you're putting this oil on there, you're just rubbing it on, and you're saying, you know, whenever this is for instance, whenever I'm in circle, I give you the job of moving energy at my will to direct it to where I need it to go, something of that nature. If you want a wand that is a little bit more specific for the intent or the reason that you got that specific wand, sometimes wands are more specified towards healing work. Sometimes they're more specified towards financial work or love work. You know, depends on the wood, depends on the makeup of it, depends on the person. Some wands, you know, depending on the person, it is an all-around use. It's a one size fits all. I will use this wand and you know, over and over for whatever thing I need, whether it's binding and banishing or hexing and cursing, to healing and financial gain and love and light, and you know, directing good things towards people I love. You know, some people find a one-size-fits-all approach with their tools, and maybe you do. Maybe you don't. Maybe you need 5 different wands. Excuse me just for a second. That is my 9 o'clock alarm telling me it's time to start winding down the day and getting ready as I take a sip of my cappuccino. So, anyway. These are just some of my my little tips, my little thoughts of cleansing and consecrating, specifically the wand. Again, with in terms of fire, be careful because wood can catch fire. This one here is made out of clay, and it can get damaged from fire. I don't know from experience, but yes, clay things can get damaged by fire. Especially if it's hot and then cooled off really quickly, it can crack it and whatnot. So be careful. Always practice fire safety. Let's see. I think that's all that I have. I think next week we are going to we're probably going to go through these a little quicker. And you know what? Let's go ahead and do the athame, because some people see it as a means of fire. Some people see it as a means of air. So let's go, you know what? Let's go ahead and do 2 for 1. Same general setup. With air, seeing that you have your wand already, you can just run the wand over, cleansing it. For fire, you can literally, this is your candle, you can literally set it over top and run it through the flame. You don't have to worry as much about the blade. I wouldn't do the handle, of course, but if you do the blade, just make sure that you don't touch it immediately after. It is going to be hot. So, again, fire safety, as I have a athame going towards the camera as I'm pointing essentially a knife at you. Practice fire safety, kids. With water, again, you can spray it. Now, cares for specifically for metal and for blade is rust issues. You don't want it sitting with water on it for very long. Again, you can use an oil, something that has a more water type element to it. Would be fine. Excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I got a little tickle in the back of my throat. using an oil would be fine, something more attuned with water. You can dress your athame with a regular oil, WD-40, something like that, something that will be an anti-corrosive element. So using WD-40 or regular motor oil or something like that, something that you use in a car, would work perfectly well on this. Make sure you don't get it on the handle, especially if, like this one, you have a leather type of finish on it. But running that oil over there, thin coat, will keep it from rusting. So, and this is just general tool maintenance whenever you're talking ritual tools. You can use your salt again, of course, or you can get a bed of sage if you happen to have sage. Doesn't have to be white sage, can be regular cooking sage, and just set it on there like that. And that will help to draw out any impurities. Again, the same thing goes with the blade as goes with the wand. Whenever you're consecrating it, when you're giving it its job, this I would probably do with oil rather than just with regular with anything else. Now, I did say use oil on this one. If you have a wooden wand, you might want to use something like Murphy's oil, because it's a natural oil that actually helps the wood, and you can consecrate that way. Lemon oil, basically. For this, I would use something like a motor oil type, something that will keep it preserved, but also act as a blessing. You can bless the oil before you put it on there, of course. And then, like I said, thin coat, and then just leave it on there for a little bit, because that thin coat of oil helps it not to rust. Now, I have had this for, what, 11 years now. About 11 years. So, and it hasn't gotten rusty. I don't do a lot of tool maintenance of making sure that my athame is cleaned and properly maintained with oils and whatnot. However, if you leave it out, which it's often in its sheath, because I have it hanging up here, if you leave something out and it does get a little salt and what you call it, a little salt and humidity from the air, you end up getting this, which is patina. So whenever you get to that point, you have to actually like scrub it off. And I'm probably going to end up redoing this finish on here. I'll leave the handles, but I think I'm going to redo the finish on here, maybe with a white porcelain. I think would look nice, because I'm probably not going to get that brass look back. So anyway, just some thoughts. We'll see what happens whenever I actually clean that up, if it is still being able to be maintained with that brass golden look. But anyway, that's my paint, and that's for another time. I think that's seriously all that I have now. So I'm going to probably not edit this, but I'm going to upload or put the music on there and all that stuff, because, you know, y'all like the music, I think, I hope. I find that music just a little calming, has a nice little calming tone to it in the background. So anyway, next week I will cover, I guess, water, and or the chalice for the representation of water, and we'll cover the paten for the representation of earth. And you know what, for those ones, I think I'm actually going to borrow a little bit from the Roman ritual. Maybe I'll share some of that stuff with y'all. So I have to put my spin on it, of course, because otherwise you're just doing the same thing that the Catholics are doing. And not that that's a bad thing, but not something that I particularly would like to do. You can look one up, probably for a blade or for a sword. Those are probably in the Roman ritual. If I happen to come across it whenever I am doing the putting together of next week's video, then I will probably also do that one as well and share that with y'all too. Probably not going to have a wand in there. Might have one for a staff or like a shepherd's crook or something like that. So I will do my research on that, and I will share that with you next week. But I hope you found this helpful. If you did, go ahead and leave a comment below. Remember to hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification, and hit that like button or dislike. But if you dislike, you need to leave me a comment so I know why you dislike this video. Whether you like or dislike it, all appeases the algorithmic gods of YouTube. All hail the algorithmic gods of YouTube. And until next time, may you have love, hugs, and ladybugs. Bye-bye. Okay, y'all, right as I was saying bye-bye, or goodbye, little Miss Karen jumped up onto my seat. How freaking adorable. And what's she doing? There she is. There you are. Okay, anyway, I'll catch y'all later. Bye.